Hi, friends. My name's host Derek. Today I'm here to talk to you about the real reason you aren't named Paul. The reason is the real reason. Your parents may have told you whatever they may have told you. The real reason that you aren't named Paul is that your parents didn't like the name. That's the real reason. They've been keeping it from you all these years. That's why you're not named Paul. Okay? They were gonna name you Paul, but they didn't like the name. Basically, it boils down to that. The real reason that you aren't named Paul, your parents didn't like the name. If they had really liked it a lot, you might be named Paul. But instead, you're named something else. Now, what if you actually are named Paul? Right? What if you actually are named Paul? Well, then this live stream clearly is not for you. Go away. No Pauls allowed in this live stream. All right? Everybody, we are in agreement about that, right? No Pauls allowed here. You are not named Paul. You are not allowed here, Dolan. You're named Dolan, okay? Not Paul. We're going to have no Pauls around here. Sarah, no, that's a myth, okay? Everybody thinks, oh, God, if only I were named Paul, my life would be so much better. Not true. Not true, Sarah. You just put that in your pipe and smoke it right now. It is not true that your life would be better if you were named Paul. People would say, why are you named Paul? You're a girl. What's the real reason you aren't named Paul? Your parents didn't like the name. No, she can't be a Paula, okay? Paul is not one of the options we're discussing during this live stream. We're only discussing Paul. There are no Paulas qualified for Pauls in this live stream. Also, no Paulos. Sorry, doesn't count. Because this live stream only purports to tell you the real reason why you aren't named Paul. That's why, Sarah ISFP, I don't know why you're not named Paula or Paolo. I don't know the answer to complicated questions like that. I only know the answer to one question, why you aren't named Paul. Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can. It's not true, emailed Anthrax. You can't too have Paula without Paul. For example, let's say there's a family with two lesbian mothers named Sarah and Sarah. And they have one lesbian daughter named Paul. There's no Paul named Paula. There's no Pauls there. That's spelling. That doesn't count, email Anthrax. Spelling doesn't count when you're evaluating the real reason why you're not named Paul. Sorry, Sarah. Neither of the lesbian mothers were you. Okay, I just picked your name there. Okay, spelling doesn't count for anything, for nothing. Counts for nothing. No things are counted for by spelling. That's true. What I just said is true. Everything that disagrees with me is false. Hey, no, you can't no, you can't out TI me. I have more feelings than you do. That means I out TI you. I'm a lesbian mother too. Sarah, you, me, and Dolan can be a lesbian triumvirate of motherhood. Okay? You can't out FI me. I got so much FI. I'm in love with a lady. Hey, Once you're in love with a lady like me, Mild Anthrax, T.I. goes right out the window. Just toss it right out the window. Okay, I want nothing to do with you, T.I. It's all F.I. all the time from now on. I'll be a good lesbian mother, too. This weed here is called MK Ultra. And I gotta say, it's like half the price of the most expensive weed, and it's pretty much just as good. Why do I get that other weed? I don't know. Well, I was talking to a person I typed on a typing session earlier. Yeah, MK Ultra is fun to research. They, government program or whatever. The weed strain, though, I will say this about this strain of weed right here. What I like about it, you can see by looking at it right away. You can see right away by looking at it. Look how dense this is. It's just, yeah, it's like a rock. That's kind of weed that'll last you a little while. It doesn't burn up in a heartbeat, Okay, so the real reason you are named Paul, right? If you just got here, we're answering the question today why you aren't named Paul, and the answer is because your parents didn't like the name. My grinder. Here's my grinder. It's right here. You want me to grind it instead of just putting little buds in there like that? All right, you persnickety persimmon. Email Anthrax. Has anybody ever called you a persnickety persimmon before? Because I think that's what you are. I think you're a persnickety persimmon. Is that bullying? Does that count as bullying to call you a persnickety persimmon? I mean, it might count as bullying, but I'm going to take a chance here on YouTube that you're not going to report me for bullying. For calling you a persnickety persimmon. Count as harassment? Is that hate speech? Is that hate speech against persimmons? I think that might be hate speech against persimmons. Ooh, Eric, you better not say that. You better not call him a persnickety persimmon. Are you kidding me? Ooh. The social justice activism groups are going to be all up on you over that. Persnickety persimmon, you called him? Ooh, you are in trouble. You should never call anybody a persnickety persimmon unless they kick you right in the nuts. Then you can call them that. Then that's justified. I just grounded for you, persnickety persimmon. Okay, well, titty twister is another justification for calling somebody a persnickety persimmon. Either the nut kick or the titty twist is considered to be sufficient provocation to refer to somebody as a persnickety presentment. I checked the rule books. I need to find my cigarettes. Where did I leave them? Where have they gone? Why do I constantly lose them? These are the questions that plague me. Well, I like to do a little variant called an anus twister, where I reach up in your butthole and twist your anus. Good news, everybody! I found my cigarettes. You were worried. I don't blame you. You were panicking. I don't blame you. You know, one time someone asked me if I wanted to play Twister, and I said yes, and I just had all of my body parts twisted like this. It was awful. It was awful. It was awfully good having all my body parts twisted like that. Host Eric CWP, an example of ISFJ inverse development. Oh no, a provocative statement. Whatever shall I do? Yeah, of course. He's avoiding debating me. Remember when he was going to come debate me at some point? Instead, he puts up that. I mean, obviously, nobody takes him seriously, but that's fine. Okay, what is the real reason you aren't named Paul? Oh, I had no idea your husband's name was Paul. But the real reason you aren't named Paul, also, you should know, Mrs. Baum, before I learned that, I made a rule that no Pauls are allowed in this live stream. So your husband can come to any other live stream, but not this particular one. We do have a moratorium on Pauls in this live stream. Anyway, if you want to know what the real reason is, Winston's mom, the real reason your parents named you Winston's mom instead of Paul is they didn't like the name Paul. When they learned you were marrying one, they were very upset. Understandably. Because, you know, they told you ahead of time, hey, listen, we don't like the name Paul. And you just ignored them. You just ignored them. Well, you know what other rule Winston's mom and I have been fighting back and forth about? Just piowing. It's the eschew rule. You know, first she broke the eschew rule, thereby making me aware that there was a rule about eschewing things that I didn't know about prior to that. And then I find myself breaking the eschew rule left and right ever since. In fact, I've broken it like 5 times in the last 1 minute. Thank you very much, Mrs. Mama. Thank you very morning. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And it was an interesting conversation. I enjoyed it too. It is appalling. So anyway, what's the real reason Eric Moore's parents didn't name him Paul? The answer is they didn't like the name. They didn't like the name Paul. You see, I like this new modality of live streams where I ask one of the challenging questions in life, and no Pauls. Bacon, that's the rule. No Pauls allowed in this live stream today. Just this one. If you're Paul, I'm going to have to politely ask you to leave. If your name is Paul. Today's live stream, we have a no Paul rule. Paulines are fine. Paulos, any of those. Just no Pauls. If your name is spelled P-A-L-L-S, you're still not allowed. No Pauls allowed today. Why am I not named Sarah? What makes you think I'm not named Sarah? Why are you trying to put that on me? I could be named Sarah too. I'm named a lot of things. Could be Sarah. Cameron's not an INTJ. Cameron is such an ISTJ. Oh my God, Cameron is such an ISTJ. He's always telling me stories about his childhood and stuff. And that reminds me of the time in high school when it's like constantly. Cameron is definitely an ISTJ. Let's take a vote. Polls, polls are okay. Ghost Rider polls are okay. There's no specific Paul that I have any particular problem with. The only Paul I know is my friend Paul. It's just that in this particular live stream, no Pauls are allowed. It has to do with basically there's a unique metaphysical virus of Paulery that you become a risk of when exposed to Pauls. That right now we're all highly at risk for. So we're gonna have to do a brief Paul quarantine, but it's just one. It's just one live stream long. Pauls, P-A-W-L-S, also not allowed. No Pauls. Pauls are fine. Paulos, Paulas, but no Pauls. That means no P-A-U-Ls, no P-A-L-Ls, no P-O-L-Ls. I mean, no P-O-P-A, no P. Pauls are allowed. Yeah, no Pauls are fine. No P-A-W-L-S. That's what I was going to get to there. No P-A-W-L-S. Those are also Pauls. That's not allowed. It's only temporary. I'm glad he's not a jealous type. You tell him he's welcome in any live stream, just not this one. That this rule was put in place before I knew his name was Paul. Okay? So it's just coincidence. If you were to ask me, like, what made me name the video this name today, I was starting with the real reason why you, And I don't know, I just thought, you aren't named Paul? I just thought it would be funny, A funny question to ask as a title for a video. Or a funny thing to say. I guess not a question, The real reason you aren't named Paul. I might tomorrow say, like, the real reason your mouth isn't full of guinea pigs. And the answer is because every time it starts to fill up with guinea pigs, you spit them out. That's the answer. Every time your mouth starts to fill up with guinea pigs, you spit them out. Cloud, I told you not to do that. What's the real reason your mouth isn't filled with guinea pigs, Hambone? The answer is because every time it starts to fill up, you spit them out. Cloud, I hope you have a pleasant time and everything. I'm not trying to harsh you mellow, but I believe I told you don't do that. Nobody listens to me. Some kind of role model, huh? Paraplegics are okay. Yes. Paraplegics are fine. You swallow them whole so they don't stay in your mouth. Yeah, if you let them stay there, they'll build colonies. They'll build guinea pig colonies in your mouth, and you don't want that. Nobody wants a colony of guinea pigs living between their cheek and gum. Trust me. That can cause some dental problems. His name is the same as my peacock's name. He's been. Did your friend was your friend named after my peacock? Did you explain to him why he's not named Paul? The answer, Cloud, is because his parents didn't like the name. They didn't like the name Paul. They could indeed. Don't. I disagree, Hambone. You're just evolving to an ever more nuanced and interesting hammy style of bone. Cloud, Winston's mom is sometimes funny, sometimes not. Regardless, she's highly valued, whereas you're just mostly provocative all the time. Okay, great. Earth is donut shaped. Thank God. Whew. Finally solved that mystery. I was always wondering, what shape is the motherfucking Earth? And here Cloud is to save the day. It's like a donut, you dum-dum, he says. Oh, yeah, I should have realized it all the whole time. It's like a donut. You know, kind of like a flattened circle with a hole in the middle of it. Oh, Cloud. You're such a puddle of meow. I tell you. Can we all take a vote? Can we agree that Cloud's a puddle of meow? Who votes for this? I'm just done. I'm just done pulling my punches. I'm done pulling punches, Cloud. I vote yay on proposition. Cloud's a puddle of meow. Yay or nay, everybody? I vote yay. Who votes with me? Cloud is a puddle of meow. Because they're surrounded by walls, Eric Moore. They are surrounded by walls. Chatter. Yeah, I think chatter is the word here. Thank you, Eric Moore. That's 2 votes yes, 0 votes nay. So far, Cloud, you are a puddle of meow. Anybody else want to cast a vote on this? We got 2 votes in favor, 0 votes against. Chowder's not a vote. I don't even know what that is, Dolan. You're not paying any attention to what's going on here. I'm asking for votes, yay or nay. Is Cloud a puddle of meow? Is that 2 nays or 1 nay? Sarah, I said choices, yay or nay? I don't know if I believe him. I don't know why Rachel's not here. She probably didn't get a notification. I could text her. She likes it, I think. I text her to say, just FYI. My own girlfriend doesn't get notifications. What's up, YouTube? What's up with that, YouTube? Oh, that's right. I remember where she is right now. The reason she's not here, she told me earlier, she's going to her brother's game. Her brother coaches girls basketball. Okay, so it looks like we got 3 votes yay, 3 votes nay as to Cloud being a puddle of meow. Which personality type is the best at debating? It's a toss-up between INTP, INTJ, and ENTP. You know, at this last tournament, I saw an INTP beat an ENTP fairly handily, but, you know, that doesn't mean it always plays out that way. ENTPs always have a puncher's chance because we're clever like that, you know? INTJs are the most well-prepared, have the most information, probably. But if you surprise them, they generally don't know what to do with it. What's the vote for? The vote is for, is Cloud a puddle of meow or not? I voted yes. Somebody else voted yes. A couple people voted no. I think it's tied right now. Let me just shoot Rachel a quick text. My mittens are gloving the shit out of you right now. That's my text. My mittens are gloving the shit out of you right now. That's how I express love to my significant other, the beloved and mucho apreciado Rachel Lapalosa. ISFPs are not good debaters. ISFJs are not good debaters. ENFPs can be good, actually. You don't have to have TI to be successful in debate. Oh, hey, Carl Paulson, I want to stress this, okay? Listen, we've been over this before. I'm going to go over the rules again today. You are totally welcome here because that's not being a Paul, okay? Paulo's okay. Paula's okay. Paulson, that's fine. You just can't be named Paul. If you are named Paul, then get out of here. Get out of here, you. No Pauls allowed today. Today only. Just no Pauls for today. Tomorrow, who knows? It might be Shirley's. No Shirley's. I don't know. But today, there are no Pauls allowed. And that doesn't matter if your name is spelled Pawl, Pall, or Paul. You are out of here, Butter. buddy, Buster, buddy. You're out of here. Tomorrow, you can come back. Okay. I mean, INTJs, anybody can debate ENTPs. I don't know. I don't know if we have any Pauls around here, but if we do, they better get out of here. They better go. Surely, I guess. What if your name is Pal? If your name is Pal, then you're fine. Pal's okay. Pal is okay. If your name is Pla, Pla, that's fine too. Or Plow. Plow is fine as well. Plau is okay. Ang's fine. Just call him Ang. Carl's dad and Winston's mom, are they the same person? I want to know. Cloud, will you stop being such a cloud all the time? Jeez. Pool's okay. Yes, Eric Moore. Pool is okay. Also, Plua, Plua is acceptable. Plua is fine. Plua is fine. Uapple is okay. UAPL is a common name. A lot of Uapples around here, and they're welcome, of course. All the Uapples of the world come. You're welcome here. Okay? Just no Pauls, please. Okay? No Pauls today. I've had enough Pauls. It's like, okay, please, no more Pauls. Just too many Pauls everywhere. Nothing that I can do. I only know one Paul, and I haven't seen him in a long ass time. Pablos are fine. Pablos are just fine. Bobs are also fine. We are today prejudiced against Pauls for no reason. Okay? There's not even a good reason. I'll be honest. I'm just fed up with Pauls. I'm fed up with Pauls and I'm fed up with Vikings. With Vikings, I have a good reason. It's like I'm tired of them rowing their longboats and plundering my village. But with Pauls, it's just, I can admit it's a little more arbitrary than that. I'm just tired of Pauls. I'm tired of your grandpa, Cedric. I'm tired of him. If you got here late, the real reason you aren't named Paul is because your parents didn't like the name. That's the real reason. That's so Viking-like of you, Dolan. That is so Viking-like. Hey, the Paul movement. Well, you're lucky your name isn't Paul, the Paul movement. The Paul movement's acceptable. Just no Pauls around here. About this dream can be repulsive. That's fine. Repulsives are fine. Paul movements are fine. The Paul movement. It always got a "the" in front of it. Now, if his name were Paul movement, then okay. Well, look. If it didn't have the in front of it, you would be right, Dolan. If his name were Paul movement, he would be removed immediately from his live stream because there are no Pauls allowed. But since it has a "the" in front of it, it's acceptable because it's not a name any longer. It's part of a title. That's okay. That's an exception. We've already discussed this. You had a friend named Paul. Is right, Cedric. You had one. But you got rid of him because his name is Paul. And today, there are no Pauls allowed. You can mention the name Paul. You just can't be a Paul here, okay? Your last words, please. My last words are no more Pauls. Just for today. Look, Paul, tomorrow you're probably going to be right back into my good graces. But today, the Pauls are out of it. We got no Pauls. No, you can still be associated with the enemy for today, but you just have to make sure they stay away from this live stream. My biggest fear is that the Paul movement is going to go recruit some Pauls to come here. I don't know what I'd do then. I'd probably melt like the Wicked Witch of the West. Hi, I'm Paul. My name's Paul. Like that, Ghost Rider. My name's Paul. I work as an accountant. Is that the Paul you're imagining? No, I think, I'm beginning to be a little bit scared by the ferocity of the Paul movement. We might have to negotiate with the Pauls at some point. We'll have to sit down at the negotiation table and just be like, okay, Pauls, okay, all right, what do you want? What do you mean you want equal rights? You're Pauls. Well, what are we going to do if the British attack? We're going to all change our name to Paul and run and hide. Oh my gosh, look. It's Octavio Silva. He's arrived and he's a bear. Well, your grandpa Paul may be as big and strong a fireman as he wants, Hambone, but he is not allowed here. Yes, Pauls notoriously do smoke Pall Malls. In fact, they have a subset of Pall Malls called Pall Mall Pauls, which are specifically for Pauls. Octavio Silva's bear's name is Paul? Oh my gosh. Is that true, Octavio Silva? If so, you can stay, but your icon has to leave. Today, there are no Pauls allowed. Okay. People with cerebral palsy are still allowed. Because that's not Paul. That's palsy. It's fine. All right? Even if your name is Palsy Woodson, that's okay because you're palsy. You're not Paul. We are going to cut the funding for the Paul Empowerment Symposium. Logan Paul, he's a Paul. He's a Paul. He looked like either a Paul bear or a polar bear. Does Paul have a pal? I don't know, but Paul is indeed writing Paul Aminos in Palo Alto. Yeah, he is a Paulie. We've discussed his Paulie nature before. We've had a long stream worth of Paul puns so far. Okay, Paul's pal is named Biff. Biff and Paul. Biff and Paul are the two main characters of today's We are polluting this chat. That's true. We're polluting it. We're polluting this chat. Are there any Pauls here? Boy, oof. If there are, can you imagine having a Paul lurking in our midst? This channel is not name-edged. I don't know Paul, okay? I don't know your Paul. This is an indiscriminate. This is an indiscriminate Paul ban, okay? Rachel La Paul Lusa? No! Look, that's not a Paul in her name, okay? Trust me. It's not. I know. It's Rachel Lapalosa, like that. Not La Paulosa. One drop rule, Eric. What's the one drop rule? I don't know what that is. Paul already has the being named Paul complex, Sarah. He doesn't need me to be dumping on him further. You know, the thing is, I don't even have a negative stereotype of Pauls. I'll go with the negative stereotype of Pauls, or at least the stereotype of Pauls that your friend is not gonna die anytime soon, hopefully, Cloud. Paulines are fine. Paulos are fine. Paulos. Palencias. If you got any Palencias out there, we've already discussed variations of Paul, like, for example, Plow, P-L-A-U is okay. Or Apul, A-P-U-L. Her name is not Rachel La Paulosa. It's Rachel Lapalosa. Okay, she's not a Paul. She's not a Paul. You quit calling my girlfriend a Paul right now. Peter's fine. Peter's fine. Peter's totally okay. Richard III said, "Unmannered dog, stand thou when I command. Advance thy halberd higher than my breast. Or by St. Paul, I'll strike thee to my foot and spurn upon thee, beggar, for thy boldness." By St. Paul, huh? If he's like this now, makes you wonder what he was like in kindergarten. Paul Anderson, never heard of him, don't want to hear of him. Okay, Octavio Silva, you have just struck some terror into my heart. What if I attract the very thing I'm trying to keep out by saying that I have the real reason why you're not named Paul? It might attract people who are named Paul. That never even occurred to me. All right, well, look, we just have to continually be on the guard for anybody named Paul who shows up. If they do, everyone just be like, "Get out of here, you." Just no Pauls allowed. Like that, okay? That's the only way we're going to keep out all the Pauls. I'm glad we're covering this important topic today. You know, I really am. Right, like that. Just like that, Eric Moore. Just like that, philosophical thinker. Okay, good. So, you know, we just wait for one to show up, basically. We just wait for a Paul to show up, and then we'll just yell at him. Just get out of here. No, Sir Paul. No, Sir Paul's not allowed. No, Dr. Paul, unless it's hyphenated or one word. If it's like a, like sometimes you'll get like the athletes who are named Sir Paul and it's like one word. That would be okay. You think we're going to be disappointed? Let's wait for one. Come on, everybody. Let's encourage them. Paul, let's make Paul calls. We'll make Paul calls until Paul shows up. Paul. No, Paulish people are allowed. Paulish people are allowed, Hambone. Paul. I'm on the edge of my seats as well. Eric, don't take that email, Anthrax. Eric is not the new Paul. God. Paulie's okay. Just no Paul. What does a man have to do to get a Paul to come to his live stream so that we can yell at him to go away? God, is it that difficult to get a Paul to show up? This is what I'm saying about Pauls, right? Hi, B. Shahinov. You're not a Paul. We're waiting. They're hiders, is right. Pauls are hiders. They hide out. They hide away. Come on, Paul. Here, Paulie. Paul. I better not call Paulie, or I might get a Paulie, and then that's just going to be like, oh, it's going to be so disappointing, you know? Oh, that requires a little bit more get up and go than I got up and have. You could challenge them like that. You challenge their manhood. If you were really a Paul, you'd come out of those shadows and come over here. Maybe, okay. Cheerful voices by the seaside. Okay. So I think Winston's mom's saying, let's use honey, not stick. Will make the sounds of an environment in which a Paul would be comfortable. Waka waka woo. Waka waka woo. Those are the sounds of wild birds. Well, we don't know. We're waiting for him to show up, B. Shahinov. Cool, Paul? Are you a Paul? I think you're a Paul. Get out of here, you. You get out of here. Get out of here. No Pauls allowed today. Everybody tell Cool Paul to get out of here. We don't want you around here. Get out. You just get the hell out of here, Cool Paul. You're not cool. You're Paul. Yeah, get out of here. No Cool Paul allowed. Trying to fake us out. He's like, you get out of here. It was my live stream. I say you're not allowed here, Mr. Paul. Yeah, I said it's Raxley. Exactly. Thank you, Hambone. Yeah, you're not Paul. You are Paul. I mean, you get out of here. You are too, Paul. We won't. We just taunt you until you leave. We believe in ostracizing Pauls today. That's our that's our MO. This is our Paul mob. Sarah ISFP. This is the time when we are an angry mob and we're yelling at Paul. Cool, Paul. You were about the fourth or fifth person to make that joke. That's how you know you're not a cool Paul, okay? What is the real reason you aren't named Paul? Because your parents didn't like the name, for Christ's sakes. That's the real reason. You thought the previous streams were weird. You didn't come to the Paul live stream until today. That's why. I know you're a girl, Ghost Rider. We've talked about this before. That's why. Cedric, don't say that. Thank you, Hambone. Cedric, we're supposed to be bullying him. You're not helping. You are not helping. I want you to give him a swirly right now. Cedric, you get in with the gang and you give him a swirly right now. And a wedgie. Not today. That's exactly right, Philosophical Thinker. Angantier. It may be true yesterday. It might be true tomorrow. It is not true today that any Paul's cool. That's right. Hambone is right. More like lame Paul. Mm-hmm. You see me doing this, Paul? That's what I think of your Pauliness. That's what I think of it. Stool Paul. That's right. Stool like poop. Mm-hmm. 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 You're so cool you insulted yourself. Cool, Paul. What do you think about that? Yeah, when you're passed out, cool, Paul, we're going to draw a Paul on your face. What do you think about that? Yeah. No, don't tell me my plan is failing and now Paul's cool and I'm not. Oh, no. Poetic justice is getting me. Ah! I hate poetic justice. And that's how Cool Paul became the new host of Talking with Famous People. Boy, everything backfired on me terribly today, Winston's mom. I should have talked to you before I made the Paul rule. I didn't know that it was going to lead to this kind of disaster. I didn't know your husband's name was Paul, for example. Now here we are, and everything's in ruins, tatters, shatters around our feet. I don't know what we're going to do. Now Cool Paul's in charge, and there's nothing we can do about it. All right, Cool Paul, what are we doing? Hambone, I feel you. There's nothing we can do about it. We lost. We lost the battle. Email Anthrax is right. I'm the new Paul. This is Cool Paul's stream now. All right, Cool Paul, what do we want to talk about? How cool Pauls are again? God. Yeah, I know. Paul's the coolest type of person. Jeez. That turned around fast. We were winning, and then boom. It was over. No, he got nuclear Paul weapons. So we were guaranteed to lose. He went nuclear before we did. Hey. He nuked like Houston and Chicago. There was nothing I could do about it. Yeah. No, well, listen. It's possible that, Paul's going to just sort of let me still be emperor, like we did with Japanese, kind of. I don't know. Paul, you got any thoughts on that? How about I tell you what? We could change it so the rule is today, no Shirleys. How about that? We'll make it okay for Pauls, but no Shirleys. What do you say? Does that sound good? If we can get an agreement on this, we can go back to the way things were. Just with no Shirleys. Are there any Shirleys around here? Your husband's name is Paul too, Matthew Alistair? Oh my God, everybody's whole husband's name is Paul. No. Don't worry, Hambone. I got us covered. We're going to sacrifice Eric Moore. It'll be fine. You and me will be fine. Okay? Yeah, Shirley, exactly. Let's get rid of Shirley's from now on. Okay? Cool, Paul? All right, we're agreed. Oh my God, good. Now that Pauls are allowed, Paul no longer has any power in the live stream. Boy, that was a quick transition from defeat to post-war peace. Sorry, cool, Paul. We're peace now. You can't do anything anymore. Yeah, thanks for taking that one for the team, Eric Moore. Sorry about the decapitation. Hopefully it'll grow back. If it doesn't, call me on Tuesday. I'll talk to my doctor. We'll see what we can do. I don't know. Shannon's. Okay, I agree. Durleys are welcome. Yes, Durleys are welcome, but no Shirleys. And I'm going to go ahead and agree with Angantir. Let's toss Shannon into the mix. I don't think I want any Shannons around here. Not today, anyway. Not this afternoon. Not this live stream. This live stream answers the question, why the real reason you aren't named Shannon or Shirley. And the answer is because you're named Paul, goddammit. That's why. Because you are named Paul. From now on, instead of no Pauls, only Pauls. Everybody's now a Paul. Your Winston-Baum Paul, your Ghostwriter Paul, your Email Anthrax Paul, your Eric Moore Paul, your Octavia Silva Paul, your Cool Paul Paul, your Eric Moore Paul. Like that. Okay, into the discussion of Pauls. Now that we've ended our discussion of Pauls, let's recap. Did we enjoy our discussion of Pauls, number one? What did we learn from our discussion of Pauls, number two? And is Jeebus named Paul, number three? Number one, did we enjoy our discussion of Pauls? And the answer is, yeah, we did. We did enjoy it. I like talking about Paul. Emailed Anthrax liked talking about Paul. Ghostwriter liked talking about Paul. Winston's mom liked talking about Paul. Sarah liked talking about Paul. We all like talking about Paul. Now, number two, what have we learned today about Paul? We learned that it's wrong to prevent people from coming here just because they have a certain name. And then if we try to do that, it backfires on us. And we instantly lose all of our power and then regain it just as instantly. Hey, Hambone. Listen, I believe you mean shortbread. I think, really, if you want to call Jeebus something, you should call him shortbread. Or strawberry shortcake would be a fine name, too. Jeebus, there's nothing wrong with that. If somebody's a raging homosexual, is fine. I don't think really raging is a good adjective to use in front of homosexual. Like, I mean, raging? Don't be mad, Cool Paul. We're at peace now. Sorry we invaded your country and blew up all your shit. Jeebus, listen, it is fine. Deeply is another. Why that adverb? Why that adverb? Fool, Cool Paul. Okay? Don't be a Paul. Oops. I let out my Paul bigotry again. Short bow is fine. Short round would also be an acceptable nickname. I don't know if you guys remember Short Round. Short Round's a pretty cool guy. Oh no. Shannon and or but not Shirley. Shirley, it's not a Shannon and or but not a Shirley. Oh no. It is Shannon and or but not Shirley. Gah. Now we're ruined again. Now we're ruined. How about No Shahinovs. Oh, wait, there's a Shahinov here. God. Boy, I am having all kinds of problems. So many problems. Do you know that I'm a 48-year-old man? And this is my idea of a good time. To pull bong rips and tell people that no balls are allowed at my live stream. Oh my goodness. Jeebus and Hambone battling it out again. Listen, I want to address the other question we've covered a little bit today, which is, what's the real reason? What's the real reason? What's the real reason your mouth isn't full of guinea pigs? What's the real reason your mouth isn't full of guinea pigs? And the answer is because every time it starts to fill up, you spit them out. That's the answer. And if you've never had your mouth begin to fill up with guinea pigs, well, you're doing something wrong, obviously. Because basically, if you just allow a guinea pig or two to make a nest in there, pretty soon you'll have a whole colony. You don't have to do a whole lot to get it to take, you know. I don't know who that is. Hey, Rafael Breno. Ah, that's pretty high praise, Shannon Andor, but not Shirley. You didn't eat any of the guinea pigs? That's probably a good idea. They do cause cavities. They also repair cavities if you train them right. If you train them properly, they'll go around and repair your cavities. But if you just let them run wild, yeah, they'll gnaw little holes in your teeth. They got kind of those big front teeth, like a beaver almost. So they are adorable, though. They are adorable. Back when I lived in Temple City, I had guinea pigs, and I had a herd of them in my house. You know, it's like I had a pair of them, and they bred and they had babies, and pretty soon I had like 10 or 12 of them. Well, unfortunately, mine didn't because they got that's the leading cause of death, huh? Interesting. They got eaten partially by a coyote one time. Like some of them got eaten by a coyote. And he deserves to get his headphones back because they belong to him. Okay? Note that he has no entitlement for me to have to take any action to send them back. And in fact, when he was here in LA, I tried to facilitate me driving them to him to give them back to him, but he had moved abruptly and was far away. And he chose not to come get them at that point, right? Now, all of a sudden, the burden's on me to take extra action to return them to him. I'm not unwilling to do so, but any notion at all that I'm somehow obligated to do so is false. I'm obligated to return them to him. Should he come claim them from me, I would be happy to do so. They belong to him. I acknowledge that. The notion that his audio is negatively affected is insane and absurd. You can put any pair of headphones, including one of these little white ones like I have lying around here, and it has the exact same impact to his audio. So no, I call bullshit, and that's a stupid reason. I probably would have sent him back, no problem, in more of a hurry, except he had his awful girlfriend, or she chose to do so herself, tell me to send them back to him. But the balls on that one, like she would ever even dare to deem to talk to me without acknowledging a shit ton of bullshit first, offended me. So there. That he's enlisted you to do the same offends me. If he wants me to make sure he gets another thing that he wants, maybe he should make sure I get something I want. Well, then who did? Did she approach you? Mm-hmm. 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 You see that finger wag? Bye, cool Paul. That Spacey's audio would be better? Uh-huh. Well, it's like I spent a long time making sure that Spacey got everything he deserved and more. Well, when it came time for me to get what I deserved and continue to deserve, crickets. I didn't bring it up, Octavio Silva. I'm not. I'm not letting a woman get in the way of our friendship. If you have that observation to make to somebody, go make it to the right person. All right. Thank you, Winston's mom. That's a good suggestion. Boy, I tell you, when I'm president, Winston's mom, you're going to be my, like, hopefully, if you take the job, my walk around with me and be like, no, Eric, don't do that. Yeah, like take a chill pill or whatever. Maybe that person, you can be the hold me back guy. You know how coaches have a guy on the football field whose job it is to hold him back when he starts to go out onto the field too far so he doesn't get a sideline violation? You're going to be that lady for me. What was I getting all mad about? Or upset or something? Oh yeah, spacey shit. That's right. My dad's home, and let me just say, I want to endorse this product. It's called Two Roots Brewing Company, and it's a non-alcoholic Pilsner. And I mean, headphones might fix that, Desert INTJ, but it doesn't require these headphones. Any headphones will fix that. That fly in my room needs to have the name be dead. Next time I see him, pow pow, motherfuckers, he's going down. But yeah, my dad's home. I'm drinking this quite excellent Two Roots Brewing Company beer. It's a non-alcoholic beer. I talked to him once in the interim, and I took our conversation to sort of suggest that, well, he has to make a choice, and he's going to choose his woman, obviously. I think it's unfortunate. I'm not barfing. Why do you call me barfing? I like this product, though, Octavio Silva. I recommend it. Two Roots brand non-alcoholic Pilsner. This is their Pilsner. It's really good. It tastes just like good Pilsner. Demand payment. Two Roots, if you want to pay me, go for it. I like this stuff. It's good. I probably sort of generally talk positively about non-alcoholic beer as much as anybody. I could probably make a channel called Non-Alcoholic Beers and discuss all the different non-alcoholic beers, one video at a time, probably be pretty successful, I guess if I didn't smoke any weed on it, it would be more successful. Bye, B. Shahinov. Don't forget to be Shahinov. Sometimes he forgets to be Shahinov, and then he's just a Shahinov. Yeah, I am, Jeebus. I am. I'm just saying, like, this is a really good Pilsner. Yeah, I have thought about that once. Mom, I have intended to do it. Tried to go talk to the lady a couple of times, actually, but been thwarted in my efforts. I'm looking for my bong now, which I must have left over here. Yes, I did. For reasons unknown, for reasons unclear, for seeds unsown, and plants so dear. Fine. I just need to go talk to the activities director. Just the last couple times I went to go talk to her, she was occupied. She was like in a meeting, or one time I went, she was at lunch. So it's just bad timing on my part. I just got to go there when I just got to try a little bit instead of not at all, All right. I need to go back there today, probably. I'm going to maybe head over there now, actually. I'm going to talk to my dad for a bit first. So I got to wrap this up because my dad's home. I want to talk to him and see how his Vegas trip went and go see mom probably and do all that stuff. So I'll probably live stream again later. See you later. Thanks for being here, everybody. Just one last really quick thing before we go. Maddie Sanchez, you get the Queen of Wands. Ghost Rider, you get the Meow Meow. 10 of Rods. Octavio Silva, you get the Hierophant. Winston's mom, ooh, 10 of Cups. Eric Moore, Seven of Pentacles. Cloud, 3 of Pentacles. Sarah ISFP, Sarah ISFP, 4 of Rods. Philosophical Thinker, Page of Cups. Eric Moore, did I already do you? Okay. Winston's mom, did I do you already? Emailed Anthrax, you get the 8 of Cups. I don't really remember ever seeing this card before. 8 of Cups. Good advice, Matthew Alistair. Good advice. Okay. Here we go. This one is for me. Oh, I got the same one as somebody else got. 3 of Pentacles. Who else got the 3 of Pentacles? This one's for my Rachel Bobachel. Eight rods. Okay, I got to go talk to my dad now. See you later.